everyday superpower, where we talk body language, relationships, game, and everything in between. Coming at you with a conversation, a communication, a lesson, a knowledge that you must consume, internalize, and express into your perceived reality to be able to garner the attention in order to create an abundance of positive interaction with the women of your dreams or the woman of your dreams. This is a two-way street. There's a polarity. There is a duality. What I am teaching you is not how you run game. This is the game. This is what she wants from you as well. All right? Don't ever get it twisted. We're not talking about, using and abusing. No heckin' way. We're on about striving and surviving here, my fellow man. In a world that tells you you must not procreate, in a world that tells you that you must bend this way and that way, in a world that tells her that she's powerful in taking on the masculine role and you the feminine, and then we wonder why things aren't working out for our people. I'm here to give you the cool, calm truth. And the lesson today is, if she knows you need her, she will leave you. Now, I'm not going to come here strict and it's all absolute. Every single thing you do on planet Earth is if you're not being a stone cold killer, she's going to be turned off by that. No, I completely disagree with that. We're going to go into some depths in regards to this. Okay, so I'll restate what this conversation is going to be about. It's going to be about, if she knows you need her, it's over. She's going to leave you. And this isn't necessarily purely down to the fact she's going to say goodbye, pack her bags and go. Or it's not going to be like she's going to stop engaging with you if you're in the dating process. It's more of a means of all across the board. She might find somebody else while she's still with you. She might cheat on you. She might find reasons for you to break up with her and sort of play this game as to where she doesn't take the responsibility on of being the bad person in the relationship, give you a reason to break up with her because she's sick of you and wants you to move on, right? So this is a deep one to unpack. Let me start by saying this. When I say, if she knows you need her, this isn't strictly food for thought, conscious awareness. This can be a disdain towards you for who you are and the way you're acting and the things you do and the way you're behaving. But the real factor as to why she feels this way stems from her unconscious mind. Comes from the deeper depths. It comes from a biological hardwiring that she doesn't even comprehend. Yet her conscious mind is quite simply, plain and simple, giving her the bare minimum of saying, I don't really like this guy. We don't really need a particular reason. Okay? And this can happen all across the board, no matter what you do, depending on how you play this thing. But we're talking in particular the act of needing, the act of neediness. Okay? So, you'll go on a lot of channels and they will say, the moment you act out of frame, the moment you aren't, Johnny Bravo, He-Man, the moment you aren't, Vegeta, the moment you aren't, I don't even care. The moment you aren't this stone cold legend of a masculine man, she's going to start to be turned off by you. And that just strikes an insecurity into the heart of man. It's fear pornography in a way, Because it's not true. There is a balance in all things. And the people who tell you that you have to be this person aren't that person anyway. They're weak. They're weak. That's why they have to tell you that you have to be overt. That's why they have to tell you. You have to have your chest out and stare other men down and all this and that. It's like because it is a defense mechanism to conceal what they really are and what they know they have inside of them. And I'm going to do a video based on this. I might even take this on a tangent where I just start exposing the bullshit, to be honest. So, you can have flaws. You can accept her for where she adds light into your life, where she adds value to your life. If anything, it would be terrible of you to spend your time, your finite time on this material plane and planet Earth with someone who you don't deem valuable because you're scared of giving her any breadcrumbs in case she considers you a weak man. That's not how this shit works, all right? There is a balance. Now, when I say need, I say necessity. When that woman finds out that she is a necessity, that's when things start to become a little problematic. Okay? For so many different factors in so many different environments. So, if you need her for financial assistance, if you need her for emotional connection and validation, if you need her because outside of your own awareness, she performs as an archetype as to whom you have a void in your life, a parental figure perhaps, a sister you never had, the teacher role, so on and so forth. If you show that you need her and can't do without her for these things, then we're going to start to have a problem. Because that necessity means you can't do without. And this is where the psychology of polarity comes in, the duality of such, right? If you can't do without her, she will be pedestalized to a degree where she will be looking down on you. There's a unconscious awareness of weakness that will, as we spoke on, manifest within the conscious mind through its own manifestation, but under the currents, there's going to be an acknowledgement through her recognition of patterns of who she wants and who she doesn't want. And the man that needs her gives his power to her. If I'm in a workplace and I need my job so much, and I need my boss to keep me in the job, and I need this wage so much, I give my power and myself to this external entity. Think about it. And if I can't risk getting fired, my boss can take the piss out of me. If I can happily walk out the door at any point, my boss isn't going to take the piss out of me. Because I do a good job, given I do a good job, given that I elevate them in some way or another through the numerics or through, the support through whichever means, they're going to respect me in understanding that I am not obligated to exist in something that gives me discomfort, and I have space to maneuver. And this is great because you have to understand you are a mirror of them. So what that person sees in you is what they don't possess themselves. And it might strike a degree of fear into them. It might create envy. There are negative responses, so you have to play your colours down from time to time. But the bottom line is they see you as powerful. And the way the man perceives that is going to be different to how the woman perceives that. It's going to be more enticing for the woman. It's not going to be deemed a negative in relation to the man who feels like the pecking order is being poked at here. Okay? So that woman sees you who doesn't need her, and she applies you to the crowd of men that have come before that still reside in her life, that pedestalize her to the point as to which you don't, because they're chasing her, but you can walk away. You're not pursuing her, you're not chasing her. And this is where I disagree with the men who say you can't validate a woman whatsoever and blah, 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 blah. It's not the case. Because if that woman brings peace into your life, if that woman brings value into your life, if that woman is looking after herself and as a byproduct looking after you in order to create this great environment, this traditional-esque environment where she plays a primarily feminine role and so places you in position of masculine, you and I would advise should elevate your missus and say, you know what, I'm very proud to be with you. I'm very proud of who you're becoming and you inspire me, and so on and so forth. There's nothing wrong in that. It's just a matter of, I'm so proud of you, I can't ever leave you. I can't blah de blah de blah. And she'll shit test you from time to time and we'll play these games. Oh, you haven't said you loved me in so long, blah 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 blah. Oh, what would you do without me? No, blah 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 blah. And you just say, I'd just get on with life. I'd get on with life. You know, I come first and foremost, and that's what you appreciate of me, right? Because that's what looks after this whole household and creates order where there is none otherwise. So I just have to go on with things. I got one life, I'm not going to spend it more, and then I'm a grown man, right? This isn't spoken in a way which is going to harm her feelings. It's going to be spoken in a way as to which has, and it should be spoken with such clarity, audacity, and confidence, right? And that confidence comes from competence of your understanding of your own self-awareness. You know who you are, you know what you would do. You do know there is no other way. I mean, the question is, what would you do without me? Well, I'm hardly going to tie the noose, am I? I'm going to get on with life. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to sit here and ramble to you about how shit things are going to be and how much I'm going to cry and stuff. Let's say even that was the case. I'm not going to say all this and that because it's not going to change the reality. I'm just going to get on with stuff. I don't have a say in the matter. That's fine, right? And this consistency of contractual awareness per se, that she and you both know if you don't get along with each other, it's not worth either of the harm of both of you. You do have to break up and move on. That will ensure that you have a fruitful relationship out of the non-security that you are a simp and you're going to just bow down and kiss her feet to ensure that this continues on forever. Then she will take the piss out of you, such as the boss in that workplace is going to take the piss out of you, right? In a business relationship, if I know you need this job in order for you to move on with your career, and I was a sociopathic business owner, right, such as what the world of business is built upon, they're the people who tread on the toes and get to the top, then I'm going to take the piss out of your life, right? When you go to a job interview, who's likely to be first at that interview? The person applying for the job or the person who owns the business? The person who is applying for the job turns up early, right? And the person whose job it is turns up afterwards. They don't care. They're taking the piss out of your life in your time because they know you need them more than they need you. Dynamics, psychology, dominance and submission, superior and inferior, top and bottom, right? Both need each other. So there's power to an equal degree in both sides. They're hiring for a reason because they need you. And if you are actually of some degree of benefit and value, right, that you haven't put forth yet, then they do need you just as much, if not more, than what you need them. But in this particular circumstance, in this particular communication, there's a clear display of power dynamics and indirectly, to a degree, disrespect. Okay? Such as when you're having your first date with a woman. Well, with anyone, right? I don't need to highlight with a woman. This can cross collaborate with, man or woman, essentially. I mean, I won't go too deep into that because then I'm going to have to be like adding disclaimers of what a man does and what a woman doesn't do and so on and so forth. But just for this particular circumstance, if you're dating anyone, it's your first date, if not your second date. You turn up to the venue at a time you have arranged. Are they there on time or are they behind on time? If they're behind on time for the first date, they've not gone out of their way to put their best foot forward. This is potentially a flaw in their character that is going to continue to manifest throughout their entire life. Now, they meet you. You have a good date. Let's say you make a comment, right? You check it from the get-go. It's like, it's a bit late, innit? Hopefully they've told you beforehand, but given that isn't the case and they turn up 10 minutes late without telling you, it's a bit of a red flag in my personal opinion. I'll say we can't be having this. You need to set it off nice and early, right? There's no point applying boundaries in your relationship 5 years in, right? You do it from the get-go. You educate yourself. You learn what's right and what's wrong. You align your principles through past experiences and maybe doing a little bit of reading on what we are and what we aren't. And then you set that into effect from the get-go. So this person turns up. You say, 10 minutes. They start saying blah, 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 blah. Don't worry about it. Let's get in. What are you drinking? Put it to one side. If that's a lady, she'll feel happy she's been checked. She's just like, all right. All right. Because maybe what she was doing outside of her own awareness was doing so to garner which response you would actually give her. So, in a way, you checking it is ensuring that you've ticked all the boxes, right? Not out of the means that you're a knobhead. Not out of the means that that 10 minutes meant much to you. You might have been on the phone having a good conversation with someone during that time. It's just the principle that maybe in her feminine brain, outside of her own awareness, she was checking you to see your reaction. And if you didn't say anything, she would then have already from the get-go, from your first in-person communication, the insinuation that you were okay and in acceptance of her wasting your time. And the thing is, it's not a matter of 10 minutes wasting time. It's the fact that you've got nothing better going on as a man to just throw your time away to people you don't even know. You see where I'm coming from? There's a deeper level to this. It all aligns with particular characteristics the man should uphold in order to be attractive to the woman. And it's not to be attractive to the woman, it's to be successful in oneself, first and foremost. And you will find as a byproduct, for some strange reason, she's attracted to that. So, let's talk about what we were talking about. She will leave you if she finds out you need her. So, it's the same situation. You're meeting up for your first date. She sends you a text. Just running 10 minutes behind. Just had an issue with the traffic. See you soon. Whether you respond or not, up to you. Just fire a quick response. Yeah, no problem. See you soon. It gets to past. And she's still not there. You send her a text. Hello, just wondering where you are. It's getting quite late. She sends you a text. Oh, yeah. I'm just going to be another 15 minutes. Do you need this? She didn't inform you after the 10 minutes that it's going to be postponed longer. You're spending 45 minutes, if not more, waiting for this woman to arrive when you told her she should have been there at that particular time. There comes a point where you might have to send her a text message in response, having some degree of pride in oneself, and say, don't worry about it, I've got stuff to do, I'm going to get back home. Now, whether she chooses to pursue you after that is up to her. There is a potential she might, I would argue 25% down the line, if you continue communicating through one way or another. But 75% of the time, she might have a chip on her shoulder. She might, go her own way, considering you don't continue talking to her after she's taken a piss of the most valuable thing in your life, which is your time. Okay? Now, if she continues pursuing you, and she puts her best foot forward and shows that doesn't happen from there on, because she realises you are a different calibre man to the other men she's taken the piss out of in that regard, she might put her best foot forward and be the woman of your dreams, given you allow her to be down the line, right? You don't jump to the neediness, which is she sends you a text and says, hi, would you be able to do tomorrow at the same time? It's like, no, I can't do tomorrow. This is the one time in the week I've had to set some time aside. I got to get back to business. I've already wasted my time waiting for you. Not that you say that in that manner, but this is what I'm trying to tell you. So you say, no, I can't do tomorrow. I'll give you a heads up on Sunday, maybe. You know, let's say Sunday was so many days ahead. Just when I have the rest of the week planned out. And she might say, yeah. Now, if you want to be a man and if you want to dictate your quality, you stick by your word and you get in touch with her on Sunday. You don't... This is the thing, right? You don't say this if you're not going to do it. Because part of this process is not that you're a liar, it's the fact that you're an honourable man and what you speak becomes reality. So all of these red pill bullshitters and all of these men in general say like, men lie, women lie, her. No. Men don't lie. Men don't lie. Because if you speak the truth and you know everything you speak is the truth, right? First and foremost, you barely have need to make promises because everything you say comes into fruition. And when what you say comes into fruition, you can manifest the life you've always wanted. So let's say everything I know comes out of my mouth is the truth, right? I can't lie to no one. And I can't lie to myself before that. So when I say, I am gonna do that, I've established a pattern in my psyche that I have to accomplish everything I speak. So the universe gives me that which I speak into existence. Whereas if I'm used to lying and telling non-truths 24 hours a day, right? That which I say holds no value. And where does it manifest prior to the verbal expression? Within the conscious mind, within the self-speak. So if my self-speak is built upon lies and nonsense, how can I establish the building blocks necessary to become and accomplish that which I need to do to fulfill myself, right? You say Sunday, I'll get in touch with you. You get in touch on Sunday at the time you mention, on the day at the very least you said, and you say I can do Wednesday. Is that okay for you? And then from there you might have a little bit of wiggle room. If she says, "Oh, I am working on Wednesday. I can't really do that. How about Thursday?" Then you know it's up to you whether you want to play the whole sort of I'm not busy thing. But there's a little bit more wiggle room than just jumping. The moment she says, I know I took the piss out of you then, but how about tomorrow? Can I waste your time then as well? No, you don't have the time to do that. I got a mate. Oh, I haven't spoken for a minute, you know. One of them friends that, maybe an acquaintance of sorts. He was going to go on a date with a very beautiful woman, right? They set a date, they're ready, he's excited. She gets in touch with him, says, I can't do Friday, can I do Thursday? Which was a day early, it was the day tomorrow. So she's already cancelling in her own way, right? But what she's done is she's brought it forward to sort of see, is he willing to do it tomorrow? Will he go out of his way? What's he doing tomorrow? Am I going to be the most important thing he can do tomorrow? Does he need me that much? That I, a woman he doesn't even know, are pedestalized above and beyond everything he's got going on for tomorrow? And he jumped at it. He said, yeah, no problem. That sounds good. Got already all excited. She cancelled on the day. Right. It was a test. If he had any degree of value, he shouldn't be ready tomorrow for it. Not for long, at least. You see where I'm coming from? There's nothing wrong with being a gentleman. Validating her. There's nothing wrong with allowing her to possess some degree of the frame from time to time. There's nothing wrong with allowing a balance in your relationship, given you have boundaries and principles and abide by them. The thing is, once you understand the boundaries that need to be set, the principles that need to be upheld, and have a deeper sense of knowledge of the psychological, the biological, the spiritual processes that engage on a consistent between us, then you can stop being so scared of how you are perceived. All right? that's a little chin wag. I hope that was of enjoyment. Click like and subscribe as always. Peace.